Yeah, yeah, man, what's up, man? It's your boy Mikey T, and you're now tuned into another episode of the Blitz, man. Man, I'm sorry, my man Marquise couldn't be here tonight, man. I couldn't go another week without putting out some more content. This is a sports show, but this is a mainly Eagles podcast, man. So shout out to my birds. Man, so since Marquise not here, I gotta go through a lot of things that we missed because we didn't have an episode last week, and I'm sorry about that. So, a couple things that I want to talk about, man. We gotta talk about some of the trades that went down between what is this week 9, between week 8 and week 9. Um, First trade we gotta start with. We gotta start with the Browns trading Amari Cooper to the Bills. I feel like this is a big trade for the Bills. This is something that they needed. Keon Coleman has been coming into light a little bit these last couple weeks, and just putting another weapon for Josh Allen to work with only makes them a little bit better. So in my power ranking, they definitely move up in my power ranking. Um, but yeah, I think this is a extremely good pickup for the Bills right here. So to be honest for me, this puts the Bills right back on top. Um, Another trade we had happen, man. We had the Raiders trading Devontae Adams back with Aaron Rodgers, man. Like, I think we kind of knew that was going to happen, but I don't think Devontae Adams realized he was leaving the dumpster fire to go to another dumpster fire. Like, at this point, leave Aaron Rodgers the fuck alone, bro, and go somewhere. You should have went somewhere else. So now you about to suffer with the Jets, who are now like 2-7. Um, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, they might be like 2-7. Man, then they play tonight against Houston. I don't really see them being beating Houston, but Houston is definitely down. But the Jets are missing a lot of key pieces, a lot of key pieces. Um, Also, man, let me put this link in the bio for y'all real quick, man. This is a call up show. So if you want to call up to the show, I'm gonna put the link in the bio so you can see it. So hold on, give me 1 second. Dun, 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 dun. Uh, 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 So let me put this in here for y'all, man. So if you want to call up, talk about your team seasons, feel free to do that, man. I'm gonna put it on Instagram too, so y'all can pop in here. So all y'all gotta do is just copy that link, go to that link. I'm gonna see you in the back room. So I add you up, man. So, but to get back to that, man. So yeah, I mean, at the end of it, to me, the Jet season is over. Like, I mean, Devontae Adams pretty much went over there to try to give them some juice, but I mean, it's too late at this point. So another pick that I want to talk about is the DeAndre Hopkins going to the Chiefs. Now, me personally, I don't think I'm not really sold on DeAndre Hopkins right now at this point in his career. No, don't get me wrong. DeAndre Hopkins is probably one of the best receivers we've seen in this generation. But at this stage and this level of his career, I don't know how much he has for you. Now, nevertheless, he's with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, two people that are going to find a way to get you the ball, get you looking good, man. So I'm definitely excited to see what the Chiefs are going to look like with DeAndre Hopkins out there on that field. I mean, especially they've been hurting at that wide receiver spot. Um, they will be getting Pacheco back soon. Travis Kelsey has been coming back to life a little bit. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good pickup for me to want to see. Um, oh, and then one more trade. We got the Ravens trading, well, the Panthers trading Deontay Johnson to the Ravens. Now, for me, I like Deontay Johnson. Like, I really think Deontay Johnson is a good wide receiver. Now, I feel like he was dying over there in Carolina with nobody that could get this man the ball. Now, nevertheless, when Aaron Donald stepped in for Bryce Young, he's been getting way more targets. His production has grown. So I only see higher things for the Ravens offense. Well, especially specifically for him as far as for him getting better and more for him getting more light and more notoriety for his name coming this year from being with Lamar Jackson, who will find a way to get Deontay Johnson the ball. Now, nevertheless, I do not think this was the move the Ravens really needed to make, to be honest. Like, I don't think your issues for me on the Ravens is not your wide receiver core. It's your defensive backs. Your linebackers is cool. You need to really stoke up on your defense. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I guess because they seen the Chiefs, the Bills, and I feel like I'm missing somebody else. The Chiefs, the Bills, and somebody else got a wide receiver. Who am I thinking about? Whatever. We'll go back to it. But I don't think this move really made the Ravens any better. To be honest, I'll get back to them a little later on what I feel about the Ravens, man. But talk about some week 8 games, man. So before I'm not gonna get into the Eagles, but shout out to the Lions, man. Let me get them a clap. The Lions are playing amazing football right now. I mean, they beat the Titans 52-14. No, don't get me wrong, the Titans are a dumpster fire, if you ask me. But I mean, the Lions are definitely showing that they will be in that NFC Championship game this year. They're gonna be it's gonna be tough to knock them off that number 1 spot in the NFC. But we'll see how the season's along. It's still a long season. We still got a lot of games to go. So we'll see how that plays out. In other words, the Ravens losing to the Browns was pathetic, if you ask me. I mean, and it's really kind of really showed the defects of the Ravens team, which is we already knew it wasn't your offense. For the first time in probably like a long time that I can remember, it's the Ravens defense that can't hold up and can't sustain. So the Browns game showed a lot of holes. I mean, nevertheless, the Raiders game showed holes with the Ravens. The Patriots game, I mean, not the Patriots, the Chiefs game even showed the holes and the problems with the secondary. So I feel like for trade deadline, that's what they really should have did. They should have addressed the secondary and addressed the defense. I mean, I don't know if it was a big move out there to be made, maybe like a guy like Buda Baker or somebody like that. But I don't really know what move the Ravens could have made before the deadline that would, to be honest, in my opinion, would make them the favorite coming out the AFC. What else we got? Let's talk about the Commanders. Like, yo, the Commanders, they're NFC East foe, man. Let me give them a fucking hate them. But I can't lie, bro. They playing great football right now. They really should have lost this game. Like, I don't think nobody ever in the history of the world thought like, yo, they was gonna get that fucking Hail Mary. Like that. The poise, the Bear. First of all, number 29 for the Bears should be benched for the rest of the year, bro. Like, it's no reason that you sitting over there waving at the fans, and then you are the reason for tipping the ball in the air and handing it right to Noah Brown. That was disgusting, bro. I think that hurt. That definitely hurts. I mean, but that was a good game. I definitely think the Bears should have won that game. I mean, I don't think that's not going to happen twice. You know what I mean? So, but shout out to the Commanders. So, man, y'all know what I'm here for. Like, I don't really care to talk about these other teams. There's only one team for me, and that's the Eagles. We back. You hear me? We are back. Man, let's talk about the last 2 weeks. We wasn't here to talk about the Giants, man. So let's talk about Saquon Barkley's return to the Meadowlands, man. Let's just go back for a second. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, Saquon Barkley's return to the Meadowlands, 17 carries on 176 yards. My guy was averaging 10.4 yards per carry. Like, I don't think people understand how hard is that to do. 100 is 10 yards per carry and 176 yards on only 17 carries. That was an amazing day. That's a way you shut these Giants fans out. I had a lot of people in my DM talking like, yo, I don't know. Because I said our next 5 games, we should win. I mean, because we got the Browns. It's the Browns, the Giants, the Bengals, the Jaguars, and I think maybe the Cowboys. And we should beat all those teams. If you ask me, we run the ball too good to beat. We run the ball too good to not beat the Cowboys. They can't stop the run to save their life. They're a dumpster fire. Well, obviously, we just beat the Bengals. We're going to talk about in a second. And yeah, man, like the Eagles are really playing great football. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, man, playing another clean game in that game with no turnovers. And bro didn't even have to throw the ball. He only threw the ball 14 times, 114 yards. 1 touchdown to AJ Brown. Amazing catch, and I'm ready to go on the limb to say that AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson are the best wide receivers in the league. And I don't, and I might, and I'm just let me say this. AJ, Justin, and Jamar. Those are the 3 best wide receivers, hands down, in the league. That's my picks for the best wide receivers in the league. Yeah, man. So let's talk about the Bengals, man. So Eagles defeat the Bengals 37-17. Watch the dog walk them, Doug. We dog walked them, man. This was an amazing game. I'm gonna just tell y'all my insights. Hold on. So let me go to my notes real quick. All right. So my biggest takeaways from this game. Um, Jalen Hurts, another clean game, 16 for 20, 236 yards, 1 touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 22 yards, 108, 22 carries, 108 yards. Devontae and AJ Brown, both 85 and 84 yards. Devontae Smith with the touchdown this week. The Eagles finally got that light back, bro. Like, we finally are starting to play as a whole team. Now, we've been fighting with people running in and out the offense all year long. I mean, whether it's on the defensive side, whether it's on the offensive side, our offensive line been banged up, but shout out to Stoutland University. Like I keep saying this, Jeff Stoutland is arguably the greatest offensive line coach ever. Like literally ever. First of all, he good because Eagles fans everywhere, all real Eagles fans know Jeff Stoutland's name. If they don't know who Jeff Stoutland is, these guys are not real Eagles fans. That is a fact. Jeff Stoutland is literally one of the great. First of all, so speaking of that, we lost Jordan Mailata in that Giants game, so he's gonna be going. He's on IRR, so he's definitely gonna be missing him for at least at the bare minimum 4 weeks. But I was talking to Queese the last time, my man Marquise, the last time we was on here, and I was talking about how confident I was because we do have Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland is, like I should say, he's one of the best offensive line offensive line coaches in the league. And I have a lot of faith in him. So we started Fred Johnson in this matchup. Fred Johnson came in also against that Giants game, and when I say like, yo, now the Giants game was definitely a hard ask because Sexy Dexy over there, Brian Burns. I mean, they got an amazing defensive line, even though they was missing Thibodeau, or however you say his name. I apologize for saying your name wrong. But they got a good defensive line over there. I don't know why people thought. Listen, no disrespect to Tay Banks, no disrespect. He from Edgewood, so I ain't gonna disrespect. But I told y'all in that last thing, he cannot guard AJ Brown. Listen, it's not, and that's not a doubt against him. You feel me? That's not a fault against him. There's not many people in the NFL that can guard or stop AJ Brown. So AJ Brown worked him. You know what I mean? Gave him a long day. You know what I mean? But the real true heart and soul of the Giants team is that defensive line. So, but in all, my man Fred Johnson held up from that game to the Bengals game. he literally held up. Now he gave up what I think maybe 1 or 2 sacks in that Giants game. I mean, but for the most part, he didn't allow no sacks in the in the Bengals game at all. So hold on, let me move my mouse over here. So we got some stuff to look at. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second. Add to the stage. So we're gonna add this stage to the stage. It's gonna take me out for a second. We're just gonna look at my man Fred Johnson for a second and just so y'all can just see the kind of crazy work my man putting in. Push play. I just want y'all to watch Fred Johnson, number 74. All right, I pause it right here. Look where he's at. Look where he's at. He's on the second. He's already getting ready to the second level, getting ready to take out this linebacker. Watch what he does to this linebacker. Boom! Popped his ass. Amazing play by Fred Johnson. Then we're gonna go here. Hold on, let me push this back some. Let me push this back some. Hold on, it's moving slower than me. Sorry. Just gonna let it play again. All right, here we go. Watch Fred Johnson, number 74. Just watch him on this play. Just watch him. He's holding his own. That's Brian Burns right there. He's holding his own. That's all you can ask him to do. Now, got one more.
Pressure.
All right. Shout out to this guy on Twitter, man, who really broke down the tape this week.
Production from their depth this season on the offensive line in Fred Johnson and Tyler Steen. In fact, Steen has yet to allow a single sack in 82 pass blocking snaps this year. And Jeff Stoutland we trust, baby.
All right, let me click that back so we can really see it.
Talking Eagles versus Bengals, top takeaways. Fred Johnson filled in for an injured Jordan Mailata.
Just look at Fred Johnson the whole time, bro. He got no push, man. That's a good defensive end right there.
And all eyes were on how Johnson would hold up against Trey Hendrickson, a guy who had 7 sacks in 7 games after a 17.5 sack season in 2023. Fred Johnson allowed just 1 pressure on 22 pass blocking snaps against the Bengals. Looking closer, Hendrickson had just 1 pressure on 13 snaps when lined up against Fred Johnson. That was Hendrickson's lowest pressure rate this season, and his 7.7% pressure rate was the second lowest allowed to Hendrickson by any offensive lineman all season, with a minimum of 5 matchups per Next Gen Stats. It was Fred Johnson's best game of the year, who ironically played for the Bengals.
All right. So, man, Fred Johnson, man, amazing, man. Fred Johnson, the way he came in, he really hasn't skipped a beat, man. This offensive line is running amazing. Short and sweet, real quick, man. Yo, the Eagles is back, bro. Eagles is one of the best teams in the league, and I'm coming to talk trash because I heard a lot of the talking, a lot of the Jalen Hurts saying ain't a good quarterback. He ain't our quarterback. Niggas is ready to fire Nick Sirianni, man. Keep that same energy because I said when Nick Sirianni was started talking trash to the Eagles fans at the Browns game, I said, yo, that's the Nick that we love. Everybody else can say what they want. That's the Nick that we love, bro. When he bring that intensity, when he bring that emotion, you get the best Eagles, bro. So shout out to my man Nick Sirianni, man. Nick is back. Shave head Nick, man. All right, so we speeding past a little bit. Oh man, hold on. Let me shout out to my defense real quick. Shout out to my defense though. I want to say this is the 3rd game. Is this the second? third game where we pretty much hold on. Let me second game where we shut a team out. No touchdowns allowed. I think we haven't allowed more than fucking 20. We haven't allowed 20 points in 3 weeks. That's just let me just say that. We haven't allowed more than 20 points in 3 weeks. So shout out to my defense. Yo, shout out to Vic Fangio. He got these. I love that Vic Fangio's mindset is set to I don't care where you were drafted at. I don't care how much your experience you is. I'm going to play the best player, period. I'm going to play the best player, period. I don't care who you are. And I appreciate that because these young dogs who coming in, we got I'm by Avante Maddox, bro. I'm tired of seeing that nigga get blown up. I'm tired of seeing this nigga miss tackles, getting burnt. It's time for him to go. Ever since Cooper DeJean stepped in, ever since we put since Quinion Mitchell has started since week 1, we are a different team. All we needed was that front seven to get its life together. The backs is fine. Like we probably got some of the best backs right now because this nigga because Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are such amazing rookies right now. So shout out to my defense, man. It's the second shutout game. Third time that we kept a team under 20 points. We also kept the Saints under 20 points. And Jordan Davis getting his playtime cut for Milton Williams and Mauro Drummond, who's a 7th round pick, is crazy, bro. Like Jordan Davis, when he came into the draft, we had big crazy expectations for Jordan Davis. I mean, we thought Jordan Davis was going to be with what Jalen Carter is, and I mean Jordan Davis hasn't really lived up to it. I mean he's more so sporadic, so you got to really control his time. Like you know what I mean, Jordan Davis ain't a guy where you gonna give him 60% of the snaps. You might gotta give Jordan Davis only 25%, but he's super effective in the 25% that you give him. I think we're now just learning to where we just can play the players. So Jordan Davis just ain't a player that we gonna play a lot of the snaps, right? So I mean that's gonna affect his money in the long run, and I don't know how long he's gonna be here for that. So man, this is where usually I will have my man Marquise in here. We'll do a lot of the conversation. So I'm gonna just get to my power rankings real quick, man, and we just gonna hurry up and finish this thing up out of here. So my number 10 team in the NFL is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to Pittsburgh, man, playing great football. I don't think we really had a lot of like big expectations for Pittsburgh coming out this year. But I mean, they just find ways to win the game, man. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, man, the greatest black coach of all time, man. I love me some Mike Tomlin, bro. This team fell really far on my board, man. The Minnesota Vikings, man. The Minnesota fell hard for me because they're losing what two straight games, man. That really hurt for them, and I think a little bit because of how much like the history of Minnesota. I think this is like starting to they're starting to lose that thunder a little bit, and which happens to them a lot, man. They constantly lose thunder. They start off a lot of seasons super hot and then crash, burn and crash. So that's why I got them at my number 9 team. I wanted, and they lose 2 games straight back to back. They gonna have to show me they can win again. Number 8 is the Texans, man. I almost took the Texans off of here. Only because they are hurting at the wide receiver position now. Nevertheless, I like some of the young guys. Like I like Mechie. I like John Mechie. I like Tank Dell. But I mean, come on, let's be honest. You missing your top 3 guys. So you missing Nico Collins, who is arguably, you could say, in that conversation as one of the best wide receivers in the league before he got hurt. Now you missing Stephon Diggs for the rest of the year. Yeah, they hurting from injuries right now. My number 17, My number 7 team is Green Bay, man. A lot of people got Green Bay higher, and I get it. What are they? 6-2, 5-2, something like that. But my biggest thing with Green Bay, for real, as they only got one good win. I mean, the only team that they beat that we consider that I personally consider a good team is the Texans. I mean, other than that, I don't really see the good wins that everybody else is seeing. And Jordan Love is tied in the league for the most interceptions in the league, and he missed what, 3 games. So him turning the ball over at the rate that he's turning the ball over, I'm not sold on that. He's going to have to stop turning the ball over because you're not going to go far with your quarterback turning the ball over. I literally gotten Jalen Hurts ass for that. I'm gonna get Jordan Love's ass for that. So my number 6 team is the Ravens. So the Ravens fell out my top 5. I mean, they right outside the top 5, but like I said, like I was kind of saying earlier, the Ravens, I look at the Ravens almost like last year's Cowboys, and I'm gonna explain why I say that. Last year, this year and last year's Ravens offense. I mean, Cowboy this year and last year Ravens and Cowboys compared because both of them had good offenses, right? But similar to the Cowboys, they are built to play with the lead. Their defenses are not good enough to help them come back from behind. Now, they do show up for certain games and but I don't think their defense is not that good. Um, Defensive back wise, they like I said, they are probably the worst in the league. I mean, the defense allowing actually the defense right now is allowing the most passing yards in the league right now, also allowing the 7th most points in the league. I mean, that's not a good for success. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Lamar Jackson hater. Even though I live in Baltimore and I give a lot of the Ravens fans a lot of fucking crap and shit like that, but I'm not a hater. But that's just the facts. Your defense can't play like this, and you're gonna go far, and you have to play a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Now, nevertheless, they are allowing the fewest running yards in the league because they are playing with the lead. If they're not playing with the lead and they can't run the ball and they can't just give Derrick Henry the ball, and one thing we know about the Ravens have a ability to stop running the ball, right? That's one of the biggest things that I know about the Ravens. They stop running the ball. And I don't and like I said, they built the play, take the lead. I don't know if they don't have the lead, how much are they going to continue to do what they do the best? And I think if you start making Lamar Jackson pass 30 times a game, that's not a healthy for success. That's not saying Lamar's a good passer, but that's just not healthy for success, if you ask me. Um, my number 5 team, I had to be a little realistic with my team, probably a little too realistic for some, but I really don't care. My number 5 team is the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds. Man, listen, we a top 10 offense right now in the league, second best rushing team, 7th ranked defense in the league. We top 10 in the fewest passing yards allowed, top 10 in the fewest rushing yards allowed. Like I said, man, I was hard on my team, for the better part of this whole season. My team was not in my power rankings, right? So that's hard to do for me as an Eagles fan because I'm really super biased with my team. But I had to be extra real about my team. They were playing terrible football, but now we are here. Washington, watch it. We are coming, Washington. I promise you, we coming. We not ducking no smoke. Like yo, like we ain't doing none of that. We can't wait to see you, my guys. We can't wait to see you. Man. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be at both games. I'm coming to Lincoln Financial, and I'm gonna be right there in FedEx Field. All right. But listen, so my number 14 is Washington. I mean, I want to give it. It's a shame on me, my nigga. Shame on me. I didn't want to give Washington 4, but I gotta be honest, bro. Like they winning, they finding ways to win games. At the end of the day, that's all this is about. Finding ways to win games, and you stack up the wins, bro. That's what this is about. You stack up the wins so you can get to the big dance. And then once you get to the dance, every man for themselves at that point. You feel what I'm saying? My number 3 team back in the top 5 is the Buffalo Bills, man. Like I said, bro, after those 2 losses back to back, man, Buffalo been on their shit. Definitely gotta give respect to Josh Allen, man. He's still balling. Like I said, man, he's his weapons are growing. They're getting more comfortable. I think they starting to understand the scheme and what they're doing a little bit more. And you can start and you're starting to see it because that's why Keon Coleman and a couple of those guys is really balling like that. Um, my number 2 team is the Detroit Lions. I mean, it's hard to not say the Detroit Lions is one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, come on now. These guys have been balling all year. I mean, like, let's be honest. So I would definitely put them in my top 2. I mean, for sure. I mean, and then the one and only team, the only undefeated team is the Kansas City Chiefs at my number 1 team. I mean, and you just gave this guy DeAndre Hopkins. Like I said, I'm not 100% sold on DeAndre Hopkins, but I am sold on Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So I feel like they will find a way to make this guy productive in their system. Um, but yeah, until they lose, now, even if they lose, I still might have them in my number 1. I mean, that's a tough team to beat, man. And I was saying this earlier, like, yo, I think the only way you can beat Patrick Mahomes is to blow them out. And to be honest, when the last time we seen them get blown out? So that's even harder to do. So I mean, I feel like that's the only way to really beat him. I mean, man, but the Eagles did it last year. So what else we got? I'm gonna get to my offensive players of the year, man. So right now, as my offensive player of the years, at my number 5, I got Jamar Chase. Number 4, I got Justin Jefferson. Number 3, I got CeeDee Lamb. Number 2, I got Saquon Barkley. And my number 1, I still got Derrick Henry, leading the league in rushing, man. All of these guys are balling. CD's especially balling because Dallas has nothing the fuck else. It's nothing going on in Dallas but CD Lamb, bro. Let's just keep it a buck, man. All right. So my defensive players of the year, man. I still got Xavier McKinney in my number 5. Um, I got Chris Jones in my number 4. Uh, I got Roquan Smith at my number 3. Roquan Smith has really been balling. Like I said, yo, one thing that Baltimore does have, they do have a good front seven. So their defensive tackles, their defensive ends, and their linebackers are really good. But their backs are trash. Like their backs must have met Diddy before because they are trash. Um, my number 2, I put Zaire Franklin in my number 2, bro. Like I don't think Zaire like Colts don't get a lot of love because they not like a big market team, bro. But Zaire Franklin, linebacker, bro, has been balling this year, bro. And Colts is one of those teams like that I bet on when I bet on when I gamble and stuff. The Colts are a team that like, yo, if you're not really good, the Colts will bust you in your mouth. And that's a fact. And Zaire Franklin is one of the leaders of that defense for sure, with 76 tackles, 36 solo, and 2 forced fumbles. That's good, bro. That's really super amazing. And then my number 1, man. Listen, we just bust their ass, but shout out to fucking Dexter Lawrence, man. Dexter Lawrence is a bro. He makes his presence felt regardless of how the Giants look. He gonna make his presence felt though. Like you gonna know that he nice. That was almost like them Rams year when the Rams was trash and all they had was Aaron Donald. You even though they was trash, Aaron Donald made his presence felt. And that's what Dexter Lawrence right now. He's definitely on pace to be the defensive player of the year for sure, hands down. Um, all right, man. The last thing, man. MVPs. MVP, man. This is really hard, man, because there's so many players playing good football. Like it's so many players playing good football. But my number 5, I have Lamar Jackson. Like I said, bro, Lamar's playing great football. Lamar's problem gonna be this year is his defense. It ain't got nothing to do with Lamar, if you ask me. Not unless he just start making bad decisions or his coaching staff start making him do more than what he needs to really do. I think that's gonna that will hurt them the most. But I got Lamar in my number 5. Um, number 3. No, sorry. Number 4, I got Jaden Daniels, man. Like, I took him out, but I gotta put him back in, bro, because this young guy, like I kind of said this when we first started doing this show. Like, I kind of said, yo, Washington has the chance to win this division because they had a rookie quarterback. And if he was any good, they could win the division because sometimes when you get that rookie quarterback and your rookie quarterback give you that rookie magic, it swear to God, that shit just feels amazing and that shit just seems so unstoppable. Like, how do you figure out like when they got RG3, we had to figure out how to stop this guy. Like this guy was a fucking terror when he his first year in the league before the injury, man. So and Jaden Daniels is proven to be a, a real good quarterback in this league. I mean, he still got to prove it more than this year, but he's showing that he stands up tall in big moments. So you gotta give that man his respect, man. He definitely an MVP conversation this year for sure. For me, like I said, bro, number 3 is Derrick Henry. The Ravens are good. I don't know how good the Ravens are without Derrick Henry. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think the Ravens are that good without Derrick Henry. I'm so certain on that. Um, Not saying they wouldn't be a good team, but I don't think they are that good without Derrick Henry. I'm just gonna be honest. He saved them. What are we at? Week 9. They played 8 games. They lost 2. So out of the 6 games that they won, no, out of the 5 games that they won, because they lost 3 games. So out of the 5 games they won, Derrick Henry is the reason for them winning 4 of them, if you ask me. That every time that they were down and they needed that touchdown and they wasn't giving him the ball, guess what happened? They gave that man the ball 1, 2 times, boom, 65-yard run for a touchdown. Or 65-yard run to put them in the red zone. So, I mean, if you ask me, Derrick Henry is the difference maker on the Ravens. He makes or breaks the Ravens. I mean, the defense too, but Derrick Henry and that defense is what's going to make and break the Ravens seasons, if you ask me. Um, Number 2, I gotta put this guy on my list, man. I gotta put him on here, man. I am, like I said, yo, I'm a big Jared Goff fan, bro. Like I really like Jared Goff. Um, I don't think I liked him more than Carson Wentz in that draft. I think I definitely wanted us to take Wentz, but Jared Goff, man, oh my god, man. I mean, hands down the best quarterback that came from that draft, man. Jared Goff is a baller, man. Like he really faced adversity and just kept pushing and just kept working. And to be honest, for me, I love that in a quarterback that's just gonna keep working, bro. Like I love that. Um, Last one. People ain't gonna like this because he's not playing well, but let me tell you something. Name the other team that's 7-0. He tied for the most interceptions in the league with Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes. You know why? Because his turnovers don't matter. His turnovers ain't stopping the team from winning. Now, if his turnovers was stopping his team from winning, he wouldn't even be in the MVP conversations. They probably wouldn't be 7-0. I mean, shit, he throwing all these interceptions. They shouldn't be 7-0. But Patrick Mahomes is so good. Andy Reid is so good. Spagnola is so good. They they just find ways to win. And when your team is finding ways to win, guess what happens? Your quarterback end up winning MVP. So I got Patty Mahomes winning MVP, man. And I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Who y'all got to be MVP? Who y'all think is in that MVP race? So, man, like I said, man, this is Mikey T, and I'm the host of the Blitz. Sorry, my man Marquise couldn't make it, man, but I couldn't let us go another week without putting out some type of content, putting something out to the world, man. We know we're working on a lot of stuff. All this stuff you can watch on Impulsive TV, man. You know, you can watch the Blitz Smoke Session, the podcast, Blunt Rise with Mikey T, Roast Reels and Reactions. We got other stuff coming out, man. I'm working on some stuff right now. Trying to just kind of keep working, man. Keep things going, man. So do me a favor, like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube, the Instagram, the TikToks, whatever platform you're watching this, man. I try to go live with this every Thursday. So, man, I'm gonna figure out solutions the way so if me or Marquise can't be here, somebody can fill in. And excuse me, that's just how we gonna work around that. But man, that's my take on the football coming up. Oh shit, I didn't get into my games you gotta expect. Hold on, let me get games that I'm watching this week before I get out of here. I think the biggest games for me now, two is back. I mean, I really don't believe in the Dolphins, but two in the Bills. I want to see what the Dolphins and the Bills gonna look like. I don't know if nobody else paying attention, but the Broncos is okay. The Broncos, first of all, they got an amazing ass defense. Arguably probably one of the best defenses in the league, and I think they rank top 5 in everything as far as defensively. Um, the Broncos and the Ravens is going to be a tough game for the Ravens, whether they know it or not. Whether they know it or not, 'cause sometimes the Ravens have a problem playing down to the level of the team that they play. But we'll see. That's the game I'm going to watch for sure. Commanders and Giants, I'm only going to watch that not because the Giants are any good, but because that has stipulations on what happens in the NFC East. So I'm always going to watch games like that. Definitely watching the Eagles or Jaguars, of course. I don't miss no Eagles game ever. Um, I don't know if nobody else is paying attention, but like I said, I like the Colts. You got Joe Flacco in there. Like I mean, Joe Flacco ain't nothing, but Joe Flacco will definitely win you a couple games. He's a sneaky shooter. That's how I like to explain fucking Joe Flacco. So I got the Colts beating the Vikings this weekend. We'll see how that plays out, but I definitely do got the Colts beating the Vikings. Oh, the Rams and the Seahawks. That's definitely gonna be a good game. My man Puka back. Shout out to my fantasy. I'm so glad you're back right now. Appreciate you, my boy. Um, oh yeah, and definitely the Lions versus the Packers. There's a lot of good football coming on, man. It's definitely gonna be one of those weekends where you just can't stop watching football. That you just gonna be in the front of the TV watching football all day. But yeah, those are my games that I'm going to watch this week. Like I said, man, this is the Blitz, man. I'm sorry Keith couldn't be here, but man, we'll be back next Thursday, 7 o'clock, somewhere between that 7-8 o'clock time, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Whoever tapped in with me, man, y'all know we gonna keep going, keep pushing, man. Now I'm Mikey T, man, and we fucking out.